Kia ora guys, Bird here. Welcome to episode 49 of Thaumcraft 5. So we're here on the Wizard Island today, and as you can see I've made a fair amount of progress here on the Wizard Tower. I just wanted to show you it today. I'm basically building, what I would like to build is kind of three little separate towers right here. We've got like a tower right here which is going to be our main entranceway. We've got another tower right here which is going to be like the way that you get up and down the tower. And then this guy over here is going to be like the main room. So this first floor is going to be, I'm not quite sure what it'll be yet, but then there'll be other floors above and below as well, where we'll be digging down into the earth in this guy as well. Something that I would actually like to do, I think, is invert this a little bit. I'll basically mirror the entire thing, because our little entranceway here is only going to be a very short tower, and I would actually like to be able to see that the roof of the tower from this side. You know, if this tower's going to be up taller, you're not going to be able to see that from there, so need to basically just rip this down and rebuild it in mirror form. Anyway, what we're going to do here is get straight on with it and head over to the Infusion altar. Last time we talked about how we were going to start off with the node magnet in this episode, so let's just go ahead and take a look at the recipe for the node magnet here. As you can see, it is very, very insane here, requiring a whopping 11 items to infuse, which I believe for me is a personal record. Yeah, as well as a butt ton of essentia as well. And by the way, all of these resources aren't exactly easy to come by. The biothermic mind is itself an infusion, as well as these air crystals. These are infusions as well, so it's taken a while to get all the materials together here. I've had to do some modifications to the fusion altar, add some more pedestals here and there, and I skimped on resources, by the way, and I put the pedestals over dirt. I love doing that with my builds. It's a fun little Easter egg that I like to do. And just because I've got a bad feeling about this infusion for some reason, I've got a bunch of backup materials here all ready to go as well, just in case anything goes haywire. We'll be able to replace that. Let's actually get ready here with these on the bar. We'll leave the wand there, obviously, because we need that to start the infusion. Okay, we should be fairly good here. We have all our essentia over here ready to go, so I put that on. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Oh, and I don't have my helmet on, so I can't see the infusion ingredients. There we go. So, the node magnet. I think it said something about in here, in the Thaumonomicon, that you actually need to be careful with it. It's delicate, from what I've heard. Let's just check that really quick. It's quite fragile, and it must be taken not to damage or topple it, so it sounds like we kind of want to be a little bit careful with it. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I think that's the... Yeah, we're getting through the essentia here. I had a bad feeling about it. I just had a bad feeling that this infusion was going to go a little crazy on us, but things seem to be going fairly smoothly so far. The runic matrix isn't jumping all over the place. It is a little bit more active than usual, but we should be okay here. That is the last of the old room essentia. In go the items. Oh boy. And of course it's going to be ever so slightly unstable because you're infusing 11 items, and if it's an odd number, it is going to be slightly unstable, unfortunately, just because of the way stability in Thaumcraft works. Got the crystals going in now. It does seem to start from the west and then kind of go along that way along the table. I think in TC4 it used to go around like this, which is why I start with my infusions on the western side. Anyway, there we go. That is a node magnet, and look... Wow, that is a lot of essentia stuck inside this guy. You probably can't even break that thing down. Can I drop this thing on the ground? Yeah, okay, we can do that. Let's get our scan stanometer out. Do rule number 1 of Thaumcraft. Nothing inside there. That is new. Oh well. So it looks like I've got a bunch of spare materials here for nothing, because that seemed to go fairly smoothly. I'm kind of surprised. Alright, let's see if we can get the rest of this stuff. Let me actually just take a quick moment here to jump off camera and sort my inventory out. Okay, the inventory is clear now, and we are here over by the test case that we had in the last episode here, our fire node that is normal. Something that I just want to say this really quickly about nodes. The way that I think I've been playing Thaumcraft is, up to this point, it's basically been wrong. At least with like the focal manipulations and stuff, how they cost like thousands of Vs, well hundreds, and in some cases 1,000 Vs per infusion that you want to do on the manipulator, the focal manipulator. I think what the game is telling us is that by this point we should have set up a node infrastructure where basically what I do is I just run out into the wilderness where I don't care about the Vs levels, and then I do all my manipulations there and mess up the aura. When what I should have done is set up a node infrastructure where I have some big nodes at my base that can replenish the aura, no problem. So that's something that I want to get started here fairly quickly, and I want to get my kind of node area over in the wizard tower. I want to build like a subterranean area and do the wizard tower there. I saw some people, I can't remember if it was on YouTube, suggest that a nice idea would be to build like a little silverwood tree factory to generate nodes for us, but we'll work on that some other time. Let's see if we can get started here with the node magnet. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to happen, if we need a redstone signal or what. It says it'll pull the nearest node within 32 blocks. Very specific at that point. Oh my gosh. Friendly creatures off, please and thank you. Okay, is the blocks being in a way going to be an issue? I have no idea. I guess let's just see what happens. Okay. What the... I have discovered something that could aid further research, and have discovered some stuff about node attraction. Okay, yeah, it's generating some flux here. Let's actually get my fluxometer out. This fellow. Not C. How do you change this? There used to be a way. F. Yeah, I want to see the Wheatium in the air, please. Yeah, we've got a fair amount of Wheatium building up in the air here now that we're moving this thing. So it says that node, the bigger the node is, the slower it moves. I don't know if it just puts out this flux at a constant rate here, but okay, looks like it's able to pull the node just through the world here. I believe the way that nodes work here in TC5 is different from TC4. In TC4 they were kind of their own block, but I think in this version they're kind of more entities. Anyway, so that's a fairly interesting looking device right there. We've got the node magnet, and it's got like this little funny thingy on the back. I'm just a little bit hesitant to get too close to it because it looks like it's an entity, and it's basically finished pulling, and it looks like it's time to sleep the night away. That's actually quite a bit of Wheatium that built up right here. You've got to be careful. I mean, and I barely even moved this thing. Holy crap! And I actually want to get this node all the way over there. Maybe it's kind of better perhaps to like make your own nodes, but the thing is, I just have a question about nodes in general, okay? So I believe you're supposed to be able to pick this up by shift right clicking on it, I thought. Where's my Thermonomicon? I want to pick this baby up. I guess we can't. Let's actually just get inside real quick and sleep the night away, because I'm a little bit nervous about the night time and the monsters and my node magnet being exposed to creeper damage. Oh boy. Yeah, I just want to read that new page here as well. That seems to be where the new page is. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. Warning. The moment you place down the node magnet, you notice something strange. It seems to emit an almost inaudible humming noise that still manages to set your teeth on edge. Angry grunts and howls from the surrounding area seem to indicate you're not the only one disturbed by the noise. Ooh, wow, so it's making some noise beyond the hearing of humans/thaumaturges. That is kind of interesting. Is that flavor text, or is that foreboding in some way? Yeah, I just wanted to check in the con here. It said, I believe, it says right here, it can be picked up by right-clicking with a wand. I'm using my wand right here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I was clicking with my wand before, but that wasn't doing anything. Right, so that's the node right there. Yeah, I just have a question about nodes, because if you look here in the Thermonomicon, we read the pages, last time we read the pages about the different types of nodes. Oh no, this is the wrong one. here we go. We read about the different types of nodes, but it doesn't actually have normal nodes in here, so you can't really find out about what normal nodes do. I assume that what normal nodes do is basically explained within these pages here, which basically means these are the guys that replenish the aura. So if I, for instance, if I check my Ignis levels, they should be fairly high because of this node. The node is like getting, like, it goes down a little bit, right? But my question is, like, with silverwood trees, right? The silverwood trees generate pure nodes, which work to remove flux from the aura, right? So, but my thinking is, if you feed nodes, if you feed this node with pure nodes, won't this node eventually turn pure and, like, ruin its functionality? I'm not too sure about that. Someone will have to let me know about that. Someone who's a little bit more knowledgeable. I mean, I'm just worried about setting up some kind of system where you have these guys replenishing your aura, but there's like an RNG chance that they turn into pure nodes and completely ruin the whole thing, and you have to get another node from somewhere. Alright, I want to see if I can pull this from a little bit farther away. 32 blocks it said, and it's going to do the closest one, which I hope is that guy over there. Okay, no, it's pulling... I'm not sure what it's pulling. Oh, here we go, it's pulling this fellow. No, you can stop doing that. That's... I don't want to pull that one. I'm fine with that being where it is. Hello! I haven't seen one of these guys in the overworld before. We got a wisp right here. I guess we can just go ahead and quickly dispatch of you. There we go, that was pretty easy mode with our super duper sword. Looks like we're going to need to move a little bit closer here, but... Right, I want to see if I can get this node over to our work area over there. You can see the pillar up there, one of my little scaffolding observing poles, so perhaps from here should be a fine distance. There we go. I love the animation on this. It really does look like a magnet, doesn't it? Okay, yeah, so that definitely can just pull through the ground, no problemo, which is pretty freaking awesome. Alright, I think what we're going to do here now is a little kind of a time-lapse thing as we move this guy over to the Wizard Tower Island. Ah! Hey! Just as I was about to set up for a nice cut back in. Yeah, a lot of these wisps have been spawning out of this node, like a lot. More than I'm not comfortable with, and this one is very aggressive. Not anymore, though. So that is the node magnet. We've got it over here to the Wizard Island now, or as close as I'm willing to get it for now. Oh my gosh, this guy's going on an adventure. This thing is definitely very interesting. I've heard of people who basically, they like break this thing the first time that they try to use it. It seems like as long as you keep your relative distance, you just stand a couple of blocks away from it, like, you know, you don't get too close to it, then it's going to be fine. Don't pull my node away. Man, it spawned a guy in that little time. I swear this thing was bigger. I thought this node was bigger, but I don't think it's dropped in size. I swear it was 52 or 53 at some point. Maybe it's donated some of its points into the aura, possibly. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep that node over there for now while I work on this area here. I think what I want to do is build some kind of subterranean area where I do that big node workshop type thing to keep the aura up and running. So that is the node magnet in action. I feel like, honestly, with just the amount of flux that's coming out of this thing... Oh, really? Go away. I feel like with the amount of flux that's been coming out of this thing, that it feels kind of wrong and dangerous to be doing it this way. I hope I haven't been doing it wrong. Yeah, there is quite a bit of flux around here now. I might have to get some pure nodes around this area to mop that up. We do have a pure node over here. How has this been doing? Yeah, so this has been able to mop any of the flux up. No problem. So as long as I get some silverwoods planted out here, we should be able to fix the flux that's over here before it causes any problems. If you want to, like, you've got to, like, some of the nodes that you need, I've got to move some nodes, like, a long way, right? we need to move nodes a really long distance, so the amount of flux that it generates really does concern me. Like this dude over here, is this an auto node or eye, or what is this? Okay, that's another fire one, so we probably don't really need to move that. As long as we get one of each of the primals, then my thinking is that you would be able to feed it with, you know, the pure nodes from a silverwood tree, but again, I'm not too sure if these normal nodes are going to turn into pure nodes because of, you know, RNG node breeding, so to speak. Node breeding, wow. I guess you really do breed nodes in this game. That's kind of what you do. That's what you did in TC4 to get your big energized node. We don't have energized nodes in Thaumcraft 5, do we? No, they kind of removed that whole aspect of it. And, like, by the way, just one final thing to say about the node magnet is that in TC4, what you did to move nodes around was you basically built this node in a jar, which was kind of this big multi-block structure using wooden slabs and blocks of glass, and then that turns into basically one of those little jars of Essentia, except it's got a node inside it, which is pretty fun. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for our node shenanigans for now. Let's go ahead and move briskly onwards to the focus corner. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Focus Corner, the end of our Thaumcraft journey in episodic form. We are down here in our little cave area. You can see we've got quite a bit of aqua... Holy crap. Quite a bit of aqua growth going on right here. Yeah, I wonder who's doing that, huh? Yeah, so this was before 5.2. There used to be this problem where these things would just grow infinitely, but in 5.2 Azanor fixed that, so that's why these clusters are so big. Anyway, yeah, you can see just a little bit of a tour. I'm not sure how much of this you've seen. We've done a little bit more mining with the arcane bore. I basically just leave all of the useless detritus down here and take all the good things with me. I've got a bunch of spare peditio set up, and here's my little redstone system over here. This is what I was doing most recently. Alright, so we have a new focus right here that's all the way up at level 5, our excavation focus. Basically, the end level, the level 5 thingy that you could put on it was actually, they had Silk Touch on there, was one that you could get, but I decided to go for Treasure 3 because we had Treasure 1 and 2 already that I had, and Potency there for levels 2 and 4 as well. So basically, now we're carrying around the equivalent of a Fortune Pick, which means that you can use it on something like coal, and we should, in theory, get several coal out of one block, just like that. And with the potency, it does mine a little bit faster than normal, and it is on one block here. I didn't see what it was like with enlarge. Just using excavation, it feels messy, doesn't it? Like, you do make a mess when using the excavation focus, just because of the way it is. Like, we mined quite a few extra blocks here, like 14 cobblestone, so... what's the cost of this thing? So it costs 1 Tera per thing, actually, which is actually less. If you think about it, 1 Tera, that's actually less than the cost of a repair. Like, if you actually go into the Thaumcraft code and look at how repair actually works, this is technically cheaper. It's kind of hard to explain how repair works, so ask me some other time. But, yeah, so I guess there is the trade-off that it is fairly inexpensive, but it's a lot messier. I guess that's something that you're going to have to think about. Well, we're going to have to try out another type of excavation focus here. We'll have to put enlarge on one to see how that goes, as well as probably potency. Hello. Got fire over by the chest. Yeah, like, chests don't catch on fire, but the blocks next to them do. So your stuff in your chests is fine, by the way. I think in really old versions of Minecraft, chests did catch fire. That's interesting. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Thaumcraft 5, messing around with the node magnet. I have no idea if I have totally bought things up. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Kia kaha, and I'll see you next time.